Yo, what's up, guys? This is week 8 of my Stronger by Science strength program, coming off of deload, which in retrospect, I'm so glad I took that deload seriously. I did go hard on some of the accessories, not as many sets, but I think overall that was really needed because I'm on week 9 right now, and I feel like I need a deload soon, But I don't really have a deload until week 14, which is like 4 weeks. So I'm just taking a couple more rest days here and there. But week 8 went pretty well. I think my squat and deadlift are going relatively well, especially my deadlift. But my bench is more or less kind of hitting the rep targets on some days and not on other days. So as you can see on my squats, I've been wearing my flat shoes, and I think I said earlier in my last video maybe that flat shoes might help me squat better, because I thought that the squat shoes were causing me to pitch forward and causing me to be in a good morning position. But as I'm in week 9, I realized that my quads might not be the weak link. Actually, it's probably because that I'm taking out more of my quads. The lift actually becomes more posterior chain and more lower back dominant. I'll talk about it more in my week 9 video, but basically I'm gonna put in more quad accessories, which I do on week 9, a lot more quads, and really try to activate my quads and really play with my squat stance on low bar and high bar, especially low bar, because for this week I took a slightly wider low bar stance. I was wondering why things felt a little bit slower out the hole. So I think if I take it closer, take my stance closer to actually shoulder width, right? Maybe even a bit narrower than that for low bar, and have my toes in a bit more, like 15, 20 degrees rather than 30 degrees maybe. And then that might help me use my quads more out of the hole, which is where I start to get stuck, right? But yeah, day 1 went decently well. Incline is a bitch because if I take too wide of a grip, especially on incline, my right armpit and my right elbow, like top of my elbow, like my bicep area, starts to get pain, and like the following couple days, my bench does suffer a little bit, so I have to be careful there. But in terms of the reps to failure set, I hit 13, and that made sense because I hit 13 at the same weight like a few weeks ago. So, and also for squat, if you watch my AMRAP set, my reps to failure was 8 reps. I definitely could have gotten 2 more if my back, like my lower back or my mid lower back, wasn't giving out, right? So actually I need a more upright position, and putting on squat shoes, with the heel, the elevated heel actually helps me and doesn't actually make it harder. I just have to make sure that I don't fall forward on my toes, which I actually don't. It looks like in some reps I might be doing that, but I'm actually not. I just have to be careful of the bar rolling forward a little bit, right? And then here's me doing Bulgarian split squats. I'm actually taking these out because I hate these, and I don't find them that valuable. And I've put in something else on week 9 to kind of substitute it, actually multiple exercises to actually really replace BSS. And then I also started doing the good girl, bad girl machines. I didn't get to do them much on week 9, but basically I did like 4 sets of each of the abductor and the adductor, so closing your legs and opening your legs. And my adductor, so the one that's actually closing your legs, that was way harder for me. I did like half the weight, basically less than half. That was really hard, but I think training my adductors will help, especially if I squat with more toes out, right? And also Also help with sumo deadlift, and I did injure my adductor on sumo deadlifts. I injured it doing Bulgarian split squats, but that was because before that I did sumo deadlifts on the same day, right? And that was like right before my first meet, my deadlift only meet, and I had to change that to bench only, and that was like over a year ago, right? So getting my adductors stronger is not a bad thing. So that's day one. So for bench press, what I really need to focus on is leg drive. A powerlifting coach gave me some advice, and he said that my leg drive isn't there much. So I really need to think about pushing my body like kind of off the bench, like sliding up on the bench, and without any weights, I should be sliding off the bench, right? Like using my legs to push myself up on the bench, and that will drive. That will gives me more leg drive, and doing that as the weight comes up, right? So when I'm trying to push the weight off my chest, really thinking about bending the bar with my pinkies, and then kind of bring my body to the bar, right? And then pushing it up, but not only thinking about that, but also trying to incorporate leg drive, right? Pushing my body up on the bench. And if you're benching a lot of weight, that should bring the weight up faster and not actually push you off the bench, right? So not just overall a tight setup, but all those other cues. So I really want to get my bench up again. It's been kind of in a plateau. I really want to hit past my rep target. On every lift, like spoto press, incline bench, on pause and non-pause bench, right? I've been hitting it, or like missing it by one, and then the next week I hit it, or pass the rep target by 1 or 2. Which on day 4 I think I passed my rep target by 2, but that's because last week I missed it by 1, so the weight goes down next week, right? So I want to be able to at least hit the rep target every week on bench, and I think part of it is like recovery, and like I said, incline bench gives me like wide incline bench or even wide flat bench gives me like not shoulder, but like top bicep pain and pain on my right armpit, like only my right side. So that kind of makes me also get stuck on bench a little bit. And now with high bar squats, my main goal is to try to not squat it like a low bar squat and keep my stance closer, more knees over toes, right? And use less of my adductors and more of my quads, so I can actually get the main use of high bar squats while I'm doing it to work and activate my quads more, so it can transfer over to low bar, right? So I think my stance is not too wide, but my toes are too much out, I feel like. And I'm ingraining more of a low bar pattern, I feel like. So I'm definitely taking this into account in week 9 and forward. And like I said again, I'm really trying to use these variations to really attack my weaknesses, or attack the parts that I want to focus on, right? Which is quads for high bar squats. And high bar squats also use more of your T-spine. So being able to maintain more of a flat back on squats. So high bar squats will have a lot of carryover for T-spine strength, but also trying to be more upright on low bar, because being rigid and upright on low bar, not more upright than you should be, but upright and rigid the right amount for low bar is useful in driving your quads out of the hole, right? So this is what I'm trying to do, and I feel like my stance is a little too wide for that. So from week 9 I've tweaked my technique, and really trying to get the most out of high bar. So 15 reps for 240 pounds, and was happy with this, but the results for next week, so week 9's high bar MRAP, was even better. So I'll talk about that in that video. And one last thing you'll notice coming up is I'm now doing leg press much heavier, 5.5 plates and going on to 6 plates. And I think going heavier but fewer reps will help me get closer to failure, which is the point in accessory exercises like the leg press, right? Because for the past few weeks I haven't been really going to failure, especially the first 5-6 weeks. And going to failure is key to really hit growth on the legs for it to carry over to squats, right? And that's day 2. So for day 3, comp deadlifts, which are conventional deadlifts, the 2 cues I've been looking into more from my powerlifting coach is, one is bending the bar, but more specifically is bring my pinkies in, right? And then also bring my rib cage more in front of my triceps, I think is how I interpret it, right? And that helps me to bring my chest more forward, but keeping my mid and lower back more straight, right? And that's how I am able to really get a really good setup. And that's, I think, what I'm going to roll with conventional. Like, rising my hips back and, like, getting, like, momentum doesn't really work for me as much. I think, though, for higher rep sets, and especially higher rep M-rep sets, more than 5 reps, there's no necessity to reset completely and play with all those cues each and every single rep. For the first rep, yes, but after that, I think it's better to just bring the weight down and then bring the weight back up again, rather than having to reset. And I think that will that has its place, right, for anything like singles, double, triples, and even 4 reps. But I think more than that, or any AMRAP sets more than that, is counterproductive for my goals in terms of deadlifts, right? And I will be hitting like AMRAP sets for a rep target of 2 to 3 eventually on this program, and then I will definitely reset completely and make sure I instill all those cues for that AMRAP set. I think, but I think for higher rep sets it's not really necessary. And now on to Spoto press. I really miss the wider bench, the Rep Fitness comp bench, the bench I had from a home gym, which if you see my my early squat everyday videos, bench everyday videos, I use that at home. And it's just a way better bench. It's wider, right? In competition, it will be the same exact type of bench. It's wider, so we have more cushion and more foundation to push the weight off of. And yeah, these college commercial gym benches aren't the best. And going to different gyms because of like winter break or like gyms closing down, etc., is not ideal. But I don't think the difference is huge, right? It's not more than, I say, 10 pounds. So it's something that I deal with, right? But eventually, especially when I move again to more of a populated city, I do want to join a powerlifting gym. I think at that point, in a couple years, I'll probably be deadlifting 500 pounds for reps, and benching hopefully 315 for a couple reps, right? So once I'm even at that higher level, I really want to go to a powerlifting gym. I think home gym is worth it, and I've tried that before for over a year and a half, but it is difficult if you're renting and you're moving around, right? And if you're living in an apartment or a condo. So the next thing that comes up you'll see is me doing chest supported dumbbell rows. I just added them in this week 8, and I found them to be very useful because I can take out my lower back, right, out of the equation, and I can't do nearly as much weight because I'm using my arms and my upper mid back muscles, right? But I really like these because even though I don't feel my back that much while I'm doing it, I think the next day I really do, right? And the point is to really get my upper and mid back stronger rather than just my lower back, which I think when I do dumbbell and barbell rows, that's what my lower back feels, right? Like my lower back gets sore immediately, but not my upper or mid back. And last thing, those lunges is my last time doing dumbbell lunges for a while. I hate these. And yeah, that's day 3. I think there's not much else to say now. Yeah, there's more to talk about in week 9 where I make more changes to my squat. So, yeah. Sorry, that's my dog barking. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in week 9. Peace. right now.
No, just a friendly reminder, tools at 9.